Yeah. Welcome to Spitter Swallow Beer Reviews, drinking and thinking. Shagdog
and Jammer Memorial Day special. Memorial Day is coming up, Shagdog, and I can't believe you didn't tell me to be like, this is your pre-Memorial Day, special.
That's true. I do have two American type beers to do though, but I'm saving those for 4th of July, I think. So.
Well, what are you going to do for Memorial Day? What kind of beer would be a Memorial Day beer? Let me ask you that.
Well, this one is the Yinglin's RWB, red, white, and blue nonprofit.
That's a Memorial Day beer. Boom!
Yeah.
Right there. I didn't even know that. For the audience at home, this is me. This is my fresh surprise on my face. I did not know he was going to do that.
Yeah, it's a scan for more beer thing on the side too. But
dude, you got your. This is the memorial. This is a 1-episode special. This is like the Memorial Day 1-episode special, because it's not as big as a holiday, right? It's a 1-episode special.
Right. It's drinking and thinking. My damn thing wasn't in. I don't know. My internet sucks here really bad because I'm connected to an Ethernet, but the Wi-Fi thing's coming up too, and it's showing like really far down out of them.
Well, you were chopping down a lot of trees today. You have a condensed version of how that went, like a little tidbit of information.
Well, there's one tree out here. It's rained a few days, not real bad, but a couple branches fell off over the last few days.
Yeah, I got to chop stuff off.
So they just decide the neighbor wanted to cut it down, so they'll pay for half. So he's like, all right. And they call somebody who's actually supposed to come out today at 3:00 just to do an estimate, not even to cut it down yet. Yeah. Well, some neighbors down the street had some people already at their house today cutting the street down. So my stepfather went down there, said, hey, I got a tree. If you guys want to give me an estimate, we can do it today. Matter of fact, what they said. So he called the other place, canceled on them, and then they came down, cut that tree down, and then this tree on the other side of the house. Well, they didn't cut down the main tree first. There's another tree on the other side of the house. They want to cut that down too because I don't know, shit's falling off on top of the roof.
Yeah, it's falling off.
So they cut. I mean, it's only like 5 feet away from the house. Big oak tree, so that's probably not good either. But
yeah.
They cut that one down first, and then while they're cutting that one down, the other neighbor on the other side, hey, we split and cut this tree down, the one that's out by our shed. So we got 3 trees going down, and they got them all down finally. It took forever, though.
Oh, man.
But they're just out there doing cleanup right now, so if you hear any noises, I think most of it's in the front now anyhow. So
Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, they tore up the yard, though, because they had a little bulldozer thing, and friggin' yard's all tore up. Oh, well. You'll have that. Hey, let's drink. I didn't even take a sip yet. What are you drinking?
So I have kind of a special thing. So one of the reasons I wanted to do like a Memorial Day / 4th of July special episode is that one of my first memories when I was a kid, because my parents wouldn't let me drink caffeine, was drinking Sprite. I had a Sprite and I was looking at sparklers. I liked Sprite when I was a kid because, it didn't have caffeine, but it had that nice lemon lime flavor. Are you a fan of Sprite, Shagdog? Do you like 7-Up, Sprite, any of those?
I think I like 7-Up better. Sprite, actually, I'm so old. I don't think Sprite was out until I was about 12 years old or something. I don't know what year they came out, actually. But
7-Up is actually more the focus of what I got. So have you ever heard of Seagram's and 7?
Oh, yeah, 7 and 7.
Yeah, the Seagram's whiskey with 7-Up, right?
Yeah, 7 and 7.
7 and 7. So I'm doing my own version of 7 and 7. So instead of 7-Up, because I don't want to die an early death, I actually have this Ollie Pop Lemon Lime, a new kind of soda. It basically uses stevia, the stevia stuff instead of sugar.
I heard that shit's not good for your heart. Latest news I heard on that.
Yeah, and I'm probably going to die. But in the meantime, I'm just going with, at least I won't die of diabetes. I'll die a quick death. Diabetes is a slow death, Shagdog. If you die of sugar, they chop off your limbs. It's slow heart.
Right.
Boom. That's the way I want to go. Boom. Biden wins the second term. Boom, I'm dead. I don't have to deal with it. Just kidding. And I'm liberal, and I'm saying that. I always like to make you laugh, Shagdog, because you're always like, oh, Dave. I probably seem like I'm, more liberal than I probably come off as, but I like popping you with a couple of them. I know it's not supposed to be a political show, though, so I'm sorry.
All right. Before you move on, though, you should take that test. There's a test out there where you go online. What type of politics am I into, and see where it puts you on the little graph thing there.
All right, I think you're going to be able. I'm going to read what's on the back of the can really quick, and I think you're going to be able to assess that. Olipop combines the classic soda with the prebiotics, plant fiber, and botanicals to support your microbiome and digestive health. Finally, a refreshing soda that's actually good for you. Like a sweet slice of key lime pie with a fresh squeeze of lemon, this thirst-quenching, nostalgic flavor is so refreshing it'll make you say, ah. That's literally the fucking verbiage on the back. And it's got 9 grams of fiber in this one soda.
Wow.
Slippery elm. You ever heard of slippery elm?
That's what it's going to feel like when that fiber comes out the other end.
I knew you were going to say that, man. So what are we going to do for the whiskey then? How about a 12-year aged rum that's aged in, hold on. It says it, yeah, over here on the side. Aged 12 years, bourbon barrel aged. So it's an El Salvador rum that has been aged for 12 years in bourbon barrels.
Huh.
And it has a lot of whiskey flavor. I've tried the rum, but I haven't had this combination. So I'm doing my own Seagrams in 7. It's like a rum and it's like a key lime pie rum Seagrams in 7.
There you go. Reminds me of a joke.
Tasty. It's very tasty, Shagdog. It reminds me of kind of a Seagrams in 7, only better. You have a little more key lime flavor. You've been in Florida, dude. Everybody loves that fucking key lime pie shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure good.
Were you drinking Yingling Original? Is this a light, original, regular? What is this?
Yeah, it's a regular Yingling traditional lager. It's just their special.
Their special can. Yeah.
And I looked up earlier with the RWB. It means red, white, and blue foundation or something like that. I can't remember. Yeah. But it's a non-profit organization.
Well,
so
when I think
they're giving Yingling pennies to the organization, I guess, for every beer they sell. Probably a half a penny for every 12-pack.
Well, for mine, every drink I take, I'm channeling the nostalgia of lemon lime soda on 4th of July, man. But now I have alcohol in it. Again, if you want to see this, here's this El Salvadorian rum. It's called It's a Chiahuatin Cinabrio.
That's cool. I'm glad you can pronounce that too.
What's nice is I needed to do a special thing for Julia, and I got her this bottle of rum, and we drank it, but I saved a tiny bit for if I ever needed it.
Oh yeah. Did you drink a lot of it the first time you guys drank it together?
Yeah.
Like wild and crazy,
wild and crazy. And I saved a little bit of it though. I was like, let me save this for a rainy day, tiny
wild
bit
and crazy sex afterwards, like rum, bourbon age.
Gentleman never tells. That's right. But she does like I'll just say that she likes barrel aged bourbon flavors, and it was
I thought you were going sexual. I was like, she does like this when she drinks, Oh boy.
Gentleman never tells, man.
Yeah. That's good theory to go by. I blab, especially when I'm drinking. I'll tell you anything.
Oh yeah, I've heard your story, Shagdog. A lot of them have traumatized me, which is from trying to back you off this choo-choo train of oversharing.
Right. I'm surprised like I said, when my first unit in the Army, I had a secret clearance, just a secret, not top secret, but it was stupid documents we got, medical diseases in different countries. You'd see them on the news anyhow, a couple weeks or months later.
Yeah.
Ebola in this country, 12 deaths, whatever the heck it was. But my roommates and my guys in my barracks are trying to get me drunk. You're going to tell us the secrets. I didn't tell them nothing, but I was like, you're going to see it on the news anyhow in a couple of weeks. Yeah. It was nothing big.
Excuse me, Shagdog. Sorry about that.
And I read them too. I get to pick the document up at this one building, had to bring them back to our unit. They seal it or whatever, I get it there, give it to my captain or whoever. I get to read. I'd file it so I'd read it. It'd be open at that point with the secret cover on it.
Yeah.
Document. It'd mostly be like that.
Secret cover.
Yeah, 10 pages, usually 20 pages, maybe at the most. I'd skim through them real quick. And mostly it was about diseases and terrorist organizations. Yeah, nothing big.
we know most of that stuff now. Probably when you were in, it was a lot of anthrax stuff, right? Like, smallpox. I'm like anthrax, smallpox, like Ebola, like weaponized Ebola. Like, I don't know.
Well, it was actually the documents we had because it was a medical unit. So it was actually about a spread of a disease like African countries, Asian countries, whatever. That wasn't widely known to the public at that point.
Okay. Okay.
Top secret,
So were you freaked out when COVID like came from an Asian country and it was all this stuff going down? Were you like triggered in your mind? You're like, oh fuck, is this going down?
I'm sure they had news about it already before we did. The government did.
But in your mind, when you saw it, because you're out of the service now, were you like, oh shit? Like, do you think you were more prepared than the average citizen? Because you were like, fuck, son, this is going down.
Not prepared at all, because if it was something big where it was killing like a bunch of people and people falling over the street, like they portray it, like in China, they showed some videos in January of that year.
People are fucking going down, yeah.
So that made you scared. You're like, holy shit, this shit's bad. Yeah. But it's all propaganda, right? But I mean, remember there was people walking. They had to get to work still. So they're walking out there sick, and it was, they passed out or whatever. But who knows? But I wasn't prepared at all. No, because just like everybody else, don't have a lot of prep pantry or weapons and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I didn't have any weapons, but I had I'm a chubbier guy, so I definitely was like scared when the news kind of hit. I wasn't worried about toilet paper. I was more stocking like stoner munchies and stuff. Yeah.
I wasn't worried about toilet paper as long as we still had running water. Because I mean, if you can't wipe your ass, all you gotta do is hop in the shower.
Splash. Yeah. Hop in the shower. You spread the cheeks. People don't know it. You got to kind of aim your ass up. You spread the cheeks. That stream hits your ass. It's like a free bidet.
Right. You might want to bleach the.
You don't even need a regular bidet. You don't need to add it. Of course, afterwards you want to clean. If it's a nasty shit, you wash your ass. You got to clean it.
Right. You don't want to take a bath in that or get your feet in there or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, of course not. Of course not. But I'm just saying, in a situation, man, that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
And even mind the curtains. If you had some like shit slosh up on the curtains, you want to pull those out, wash them down, hit them with bleach.
You get the slosh up there. Yeah.
You get the slosh. You can tell I've done this a couple times, Shagdog. I've done this a time or two.
But we were.
I'm just kidding. I'm fucking with you, man. Come on, I'm fucking with you.
I wish.
I'm literally drinking like fucking like barrel aged. And then so guess what? I'm gonna read this to you. This is a Ron Anejo, which means aged rum, and the Cinabrio is the Ron de El Salvador Ron Anejo. The Chihuahuatan Valley's enchanting secrets and legends are the endless inspiration behind this Chihuahuatan rum.
Jihadi rum?
I don't know how you say it. It's this right here.
Chihuahuatan, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
It's a Ron Anejo, which means aged rum. Because Ron, Have you ever heard that Ron John rum called Ron John?
No.
It's a really cheap one. It's because Ron means rum. That's what Ron means. I had a stepdad whose name was Ron, and he was kind of a dick. And one time he threw a punch at me, and I ducked it. He only did it once. I ducked it, and he punched the wall. I was like 14, and I was like, you're a fucking asshole, Ron. And he threw a fucking punch, and I just ducked, and he hit the wall, and he was like, oh, fuck. And then Ron never fucked with me again.
Oh, yeah? That's good.
That's really funny, though. Like it was a slow punch. I mean, he was like a 52-year-old alcoholic, and I was like a 17-year-old kid. So I was just like, he was like, oh, and I was just like, what? He was like, fuck, But you know what, dude? Honestly, Shagdog, I've told people that story before. Even my counselor, and they're like, so you were abused. You were abused as a kid. And I'm like, I mean, let me ask you this, Shagdog. Do you think that like us of the older generations, like, granted, I'm 41, you're like 48, right?
51. Yeah.
I know. Nice. But like we grew up in a tougher time, right? Like where you might have had to take more of a beating, Right.
Yeah. Because my ex-girlfriend's son, he was a little bastard, and I'd like to beat his ass a lot, but I didn't. But I mean, something happened to him either with his father or her previous boyfriend. Because when I went to finally give him a spanking one time, trying to turn actually just a spanking, trying to turn him around, and he's screaming bloody murder. He's like, ah! Going crazy. I'm like, what the hell? He's kicking and screaming.
I don't think kids should get hit, but when I was a kid, man, there was like, I remember one time I got in my dad's face too, and oh boy, he swept me like fucking Mortal Kombat, like that sweet move where they just fall, you know, like that Bruce Lee just swept the leg, dude. And it's just kind of like, you know, back then, dude, if your kid's talking shit, you're like, this is my fucking kid. Fuck you. You're my kid. Like, there was just more of like, I don't know, like back then it was just more of a like basic culture. Like there wasn't so much policing and minutia and kids have rights and they have feelings. And they do. Kids have rights and feelings, but they can also be fucking sanctimonious fucking little pricks that you have to, there's no other way you can control them. And I think kids have been getting goddamn out of control.
Yeah, they need some beatings. But you know how I don't want to get on a political side.
By the way, I have a kid that's really great, and she's behaved excellently. I'm just talking about these other motherfuckers.
Yeah. You know, I don't want to get political, but just a little short part of political, how, especially on conservative media, they're getting on Biden and the vice president, how these are all our children. These are all. And they're like, no, they're not. They're my children. Like conservatives are like, you're not going to be raising my kids. I'm raising my kids. Anyhow, about that though. Now back in the old days, I don't know about your young days, but my young days, especially in the 70s and probably before the 70s, is we weren't their kids, but your parents would believe your neighbors. If you got snatched up by your neighbors and they slapped you up a few times and dragged you to your house, your son was doing this, and was he? Then you get another beating from your own parents. So you just got slapped up by the neighbors, and now you're getting slapped up by your parents.
Up by, the parents.
Now you can't do that. You can't hit, even though they're all our children now, is what some people are saying. You can't slap someone's children, all our children.
You get your ass sued. People will fucking sue you. People will sue you.
Oh, yeah. I remember my younger brother, he got smacked up by some dude one time. We're going out and throw. I think I told you this maybe before. We're throwing snowballs at cars. We're going to go out. Well, I did it with my friends all the time. So my younger brother did it with me a couple times. He's like, hey, let's go show so-and-so. Let's go throw some snowballs at cars with my friends. I'm like, okay, we get down there. He's like, I was like, don't do it now because it's out. We're out in the middle open. But my brother's like, fuck, threw a snowball at the car. The guy slammed on his brake. The guy caught my brother. I chased after him, but he's slapping the crap out of my brother. And he walked my brother to my mother's house too. I got in trouble. I was like, I told you not to throw this.
What?
Oh, well. I don't think he got in big trouble with my parents. My mother probably just grounded him for the day or something. Because she was upset about probably the guy hitting my brother, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, she didn't press charges or anything. She's like, anyhow, you know the thing. Hey, you zoomed in.
Sorry, man.
And you froze.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Yeah, I might. Dude, I don't know what it is, man. Sometimes it seems like every time, even if I reboot before, I got to reboot, but I'll probably just have to reboot and join. Damn, it's this stupid. Have you ever heard of that?
Remove you from the thing and then join back in that way. How about that?
Yeah, try that. Have you ever heard of that?
Now you're black screen. Oh,
yeah. It's all fucked, man. I'll talk to you on my phone, but I'll come back on.
All right. Let me know when you're out. You probably can't hear me, though, huh? All right, JammerFan will be back in a moment. Thanks to our one viewer that we had. We really appreciate it. Jammers should be watching us because I'm going to try to kick you from it. Kick. And then we'll see if JammerFan comes back in. Thanks for watching Drinking the Thing. And we're just talking about whatever, something about childhood stuff. And my hair was just a little wet, so I'm not usually this short. It just was damp earlier. It's drying out good, though. Shagdog, shakalacking, waiting for JammerFan to get back in. Also, we got a couple videos. I did upload 3 videos today. One actually I put public today. The other one I'm going to do made it so it goes public tomorrow. Then the third one, like about 2 days from now or 3 days. And yeah, so be on the lookout for some future videos. Going to try to upload. I'm going to try to start recording videos instead of going live. Besides the drinking and thinking, we do regular reviews. Going to record, go live, and let me see what he says. And then drinking and thinking videos we'll do live, I guess. But actual reviews, especially with Jammer and JammerFan, if we do all three of us together, it takes about an hour. Nobody's going to watch an hour video of beer drinking, reviewing 3 different beers, So I'm going to try to edit some of those videos down. Plus, it's fun to edit, and if you're editing, then you get upload a video once every 2 days or 3 days, so you're keeping viewers fresh. It's not like you're throwing all 6 videos all at once on there. So that's gonna be cool. While we're waiting for JammerFan, yeah, I'm drinking this Yingling Lager. This is the traditional lager, red, white, and blue, enriching veterans' lives. I'm a veteran, and I never try to get any veterans benefits at all. But I need to find a good girl, has a good job, and then we get a veterans loan. We gotta get married first, though, because they won't put. I don't believe any loan place that gives veterans loans will not put anybody else on the loan unless you're actually a spouse. So I'd have to get married, which is a good thing I didn't get married on the last one because she wanted to get a veterans loan, and we would have had to get married. Well, it would have included her income too, though, so that would have been the only benefit of doing that. But I'm glad that didn't happen because she would have took half the house or took the whole house, basically. So yeah, screw women. I'm not getting married to get a house, but yeah, because with my loan, I had qualified for a loan, but not for a lot of money. $120,000 at a time. That was back 2016, 17. So with what I made at the time, yeah, I was making money. Oh, well, also probably because of my debt at the time too. Probably affected that. Yeah, I was in debt. Yeah, unless you're putting, 120, then I could put big money down. You don't have to put a down payment with a veterans loan. But the problem still is, they're not going to give you a big enough loan if you don't make enough money. So you still have to put, say I wanted a $200,000 home at that point. Back in 2016, 17, and they're only going to give me 120. Well, I'd have to front up the rest of it, I guess, right, as a down payment on it. And 120, So I'd have to pay a loan anyhow. The only other benefit with the veteran loan is there's something called a mortgage insurance. Basically, every month for the first 10 years of the loan, you basically pay an extra $100 or whatever it is. I guess it depends on the price of the house or whatever, but you pay an extra month, mortgage insurance, which is kind of stupid anyhow. But anyhow, you don't have to pay that with a veterans loan. So, yeah. So that's really the only benefit because really you have to pay a down payment still unless you qualify for a high-ass loan. Well, we're waiting for JammerFan. He is saying she'll be back on soon. He's rebooting his computer, I believe. There he is.
Hey, man, sorry about that. But I did manage to find a beer I didn't think I had. So I just made the Seagrams and Severn with the Chihuahuatan Cinabrio, which, by the way, normally rums are not aged in bourbon barrels. They're aged in oak. So when you have one that this guy is aged 12 years in bourbon barrels, it gives you more of a whiskey with the sweet sugary of the rum.
Huh.
And it's nice. Did you ever have sugar daddies as a kid? They were candy. They're those like the little
on a stick, usually like caramel type.
Yeah.
Weird. Yeah.
This tastes like sugar daddies, this rum.
Oh, wow.
and then you mix it with this Sprite. Oh boy, it's a treat. And I'm gonna finish that up because we have to do drinking and thinking, and I'm gonna bring on another beer into this drinking and thinking. But are you ready? We're doing drinking and thinking, right?
Yeah.
All right. I have a couple different ideas. I know you're pretty picky on drinking and thinking, but I want to see what you are thinking so far. What you have any ideas? What you want to do?
Nope. No, we talked about children. I actually put that in the description. We'll talk about childhood memories. Maybe this question mark.
Yeah. So what I wanted to do. Did you ever play Ghost in the Graveyard as a kid? I'm just trying to think of like.
No, never played it. We played something called kind of like a team hide and seek.
That's what Ghost in the Graveyard is. Yes, somebody's the ghost. Everybody else hides, and then if that person tags somebody, they're the ghost, and then they have to try to go find everybody.
No, we did a team type thing.
Okay.
We called it search. So you had a team. So the whole other team would hide out in the woods. And
we'd have to similar. Yeah, you're hiding. It's a bunch of kids hiding.
Yeah, I heard somebody else call it something like hunt or some team.
Yeah, Ghost in the Graveyard, hunt. Like it's all kind of the same in the ballpark.
Yeah, every different area of the country and every generation has almost the same game, but they call it different names for certain things. Yeah, like my ex-girlfriend's son, they called it Ding Dong Ditch. I think we talked about this before. We were kids. Ding Dong Ditch.
Because you're ringing a doorbell, but yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah. And I said, what the hell is that? And he told me, yeah, you ring the doorbell and you run. I said, we used to call it, you know what? Yeah.
Yeah. So would you say that our generation had an unprecedented access to fire? Because I always had lighters and firecrackers and all kinds of shit, and I could light stuff on fire all the time, like if I wanted to. And like now, kids don't have that. Like they're not lighting. You don't have just like.
A lot of them probably do the vapes. They're not smoking marijuana. They're doing vapes. They're not smoking cigarettes. They're doing vapes. So everybody back in our days smoked cigarettes or smoked marijuana. You didn't have vapes back in our use. So you had to have a lighter or had to have matches.
So for me, I was living close to the Wyoming border in northern Colorado. Colorado only let you buy like the little fountains and those caterpillars. You light them and the caterpillars come out. But dude, Wyoming was like, here's some fucking artillery. You didn't even have to be a certain age. If you had like money and you could speak English, they would just give you explosives.
Right. Pennsylvania, you could buy it. When I lived in New York, yeah, same thing. Sparklers, caterpillars, that kind of little crap.
Yeah,
maybe a little tiny Roman candle, like little tiny ones, nothing shot like really far. But yeah, Pennsylvania had good ones, but Pennsylvania didn't have nothing compared to when I was in Florida.
Yeah.
Or even here, like when 4th of July or Christmas comes around, there's firework places all over the damn place. Tents pop up. Yeah. That's why people get their more hands blown off, I think, in Florida than New York, probably, too.
Dude, Wyoming's hardcore. Because think about it, dude. They only got 500,000 people there. There's a lot of open lands. They have a lot of area to just like set off those mortars. You know those mortar fireworks you can get?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They go like this. They go chunk. You hear that chunk?
Yeah, me, Jammer, and Diddy.
Boom.
A couple of years ago, we did some beer reviews in Diddy's back patio on 4th of July, and we bought some fireworks, and we got the mortar things. They look like shroom type bells or whatever.
You just hear that chunk. You hear that, and then boom.
We decided to get a bucket. We had a bucket, and we're lighting them. The fuse is like that long or whatever. Yeah. We're lighting them, and then trying to throw them in the bucket. And they're blowing up on the ground, going boom. Yeah.
And but those it's only small mortars then, because dude, there's some mortars that are like they look like fucking regular fireworks.
Oh, there are good ones. We're probably about 40 feet away, 30 or 40 feet away.
Yeah.
But
all right, because that's going to be a big explosion, man. That's going to be.
We tore that bucket up because we actually decided to light some on the ground and put the bucket because we weren't making it into the bucket. They were just blowing up on the ground. Yeah. So we put one in the bucket. It blew up on the ground, but it lifted the bucket up probably about 4 feet. And put big hole. It took out the whole side of the bucket. Blew a big hole in the side. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Dude, we blew up a lot of buckets too. So eventually, my mom cracked down, and she's like, "You can't buy as big of explosives." And she went to the fireworks shop with us in Wyoming. But we got these things called cowboy crackers that were like an eighth of an M80. Like if you held them in your hand, they'd blow your hand off. And they were certainly, those Red Devils, those really teeny, or they call them lady fingers, those real teeny.
Yeah.
They were more powerful than that. But what we would do is we'd light one, stick a steel bucket over it, and it would launch the bucket up higher than the house. But it wouldn't blow the bucket up, though. It would just like blast that thing off into the air.
Yeah, we had some close calls. One time we had the mortars that were on a stick.
Yeah.
It was like a big wooden stick, and the mortars on top of the stick. You like those? Well, I'm like one off out of this pipe next to a trailer, like a work trailer type thing.
Yeah.
I'm lighting it up, and then my brother, I didn't know he was lighting one up behind me out of something, and it fell. And I get done light mine, and I turn around, and he's like, "Look out, fire in the hole."
Oh, shit.
I see it on the ground, so I'm like already walking back. I'm right by it, so I just jump over it, and as I'm jumping over it, it exploded. I wish we had it on camera. I had sparks going all over me.
Oh, man. So have you ever seen those? So you know those spinners, right? You light them, they spin.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the one where you hammer it on like a fence and it spins on the fence instead of on the ground?
Movies, like Mexican stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, so me and my brother got one in Wyoming. It says on the package, must nail to stationary thing, right?
Right.
So we thought it would be a good idea to just light this thing and just throw it out in the middle of the street and see what happens. And this thing because it's supposed to be attached to a stationary thing, it was just going bonkers everywhere, dude, bouncing off people's houses and trees, ricocheting all over the fucking guy. Like, we were so scared because we thought it was going to burn down the neighborhood. Dude was just bouncing off cars and houses.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think we talked about that one time. And there was another one where actually, I don't know if it was meant to fly or not. This was back in like the early 80s in New York. Yeah. Somebody had one, and it was like, and it'd fly up in the air.
Yeah.
But it was like almost a circular one, almost like that, but nothing. I don't think you had to nail it on anything. That was the object. It actually went straight though.
Nice.
But it was almost like the jumping jack firecrackers, where it's got a hole on one end, hole on the other, it makes it spin around or whatever.
So then
fun and went.
So when me and my brother ran out of the real heavy firepower stuff, and we had to go to the local shop because we could actually walk to a fireworks shop, but they didn't have the explosives. But remember those tanks, those little firework tanks? They go forward and they shoot their little like tank stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like me and my brother would have tank wars. So you'd buy 20 or 30 of them a piece and we'd all light them and just they'd fire at each other and then everything would catch on fire and stuff. Like we could at least do that if we didn't have explosives.
You showed a videotape it like as a war documentary.
Well, this was like in 1991, dude. Even video cameras were like this big, dude. You'd be like,
right.
Oh, like,
and you'd be lucky if one friend out of 6 of you had one,
Yeah, even then their dad would be like, "You're not taking my brand new VHS camera.
Yeah,
fucking around, you fucking fucks." Like they do like like.
When I was in the Army, in the office I worked in when I worked in the medical unit, it was plans, training, mobilization, whatever, PTMS, and security. We had a camera. We did the audio part of the hospital also.
Yeah.
So we had a camera. I just signed it out, took it to the barracks all the time on the weekends, filming us part. It was one where you put the whole VHS tape in there too and record.
Yeah, you slap it in.
Yeah, so I'm recording us partying, and when we did flag football, recorded that. A whole bunch of stuff.
Nice.
I accidentally recorded over the flag football part. So during 911, I popped VHS. This is history. I grabbed a VHS, popped it in, and recorded it off the news and everything, and then I was like, "Shit, record over my football game." Oh well.
So another topic I want to talk to you about that kids these days would never know: the ice cream truck. I remember the day of 3rd grade when I got out of school. This ice cream man parked about a block south of the school, blaring his thing, knowing all these kids just got out for the summer. He had fresh shit. He was ready. And to this day, I'm like, dude, this dude was a fucking marketer because I was just like clawing my clothes and pockets and pants looking for coins and dollars.
For ice cream, not drugs.
No, ice cream man. I ended up getting they have a lot of candy though too. I didn't even get any ice cream. I was more like I got some lemon heads, which are an old school candy.
What was the ice cream man's name?
So I loved lemon heads and then hot tamales. Lemon heads if I just wanted that refreshing, and then something chocolatey, but it depends. The ice cream man, didn't have chocolate bars. He had chocolate ice cream, but then he had the hard candy. Did
the ice cream man have a name? Like our ice cream truck where I lived in New York was called Mr. Softy.
We did not have a name because this was in Arizona. This is in Phoenix, Arizona in 1990. You gotta understand, dude, Phoenix in 1990 was cool because there wasn't a lot of people there quite yet. You know what I mean? Like it was just people moving there because of cheap cost of living. You know, it was kind of like a rural kind of community at that time. You know, there weren't big franchises there yet.
Yeah, we had a joke or something like, why did Dairy Queen run off with Burger King? Because Mr. Softy couldn't get it up or something like that.
Nice. Yeah. I can see that. But yeah, like did you ever hear the ice cream man noise and go?
Oh, the music?
Yeah, did you hear that? Did you ever hear that music and go buy something or no?
Oh yeah, when we were a kid, I used to buy the ice cream that had the hard shell on it, like the cherry hard shell, the red hard shell.
Well, what about those drumsticks where it was kind of nuts and chocolate on top of
what do they call them?
Or the turtles, you'd have like chocolate and caramel, like the turtle.
Yeah.
They
had those. They still had it. Maybe they only do it now in poor neighborhoods. But when I lived in Florida, the neighborhood I lived in, they had an ice cream truck come around.
Okay.
Now, where my parents lived in Florida, I never saw the ice cream truck coming around. But
yeah.
Where I lived in a poor neighborhood. Matter of fact, poor neighborhoods. You know, you're in a poor neighborhood when the fire truck comes down during Christmas throwing candy out. But that's what they did in my town. They went around neighborhoods throwing candy out, fire truck. But I think they only did poor neighborhoods. And I yelled at my girlfriend's son because he's out there getting candy, and then he's running down the street, following the fire truck to get more candy. I was like,
"Get more!"
And you don't embarrass our family. Run down the street, get candy, you get your ass back here.
Oh shit, man! I'm pouring a. I forgot I had a few of these Honey Browns. You know how I feel about these Honey Browns. The $3.99 6-pack, which $3.99 a 6-pack in this economy. That's crazy. That's like.
Where'd you find that beer? I thought you didn't have any more beer.
I had a couple in the fridge I forgot about. I was rooting around, dude. I was like, oh, Shagdog wants to hang out. I was supposed to go out to the brewery like I was telling you on text, and it just didn't work out. And I was pre-gaming, so I kind of went through all my craft beer, and then I forgot that I had a couple of these. Remember I was telling you and Jammer, these are like the cheapest beers I could find, these Honey Browns?
Right, yeah. How much was it for a 30-pack?
6-packs $3.99, 30-packs $15.99 for a 30-pack.
Oh, 6-packs $3.99. That's like 1998 6-pack.
I know, dude. It's like fucking insane. So I'm enjoying it. But I actually live right next to the cheapest, best deal liquor store in all of northern Colorado. I mean, they have really high end stuff too. It's where I got this celebratory rum from.
Celebratory.
Yeah, it was. Julia's been doing really good at work. She got like a raise and like a promotion, so I got her this rum.
Oh yeah, where's her sister at?
Yeah, you missed out, Shagdog. She doesn't have a sister. She has a brother.
I must be a horrible person. Well, I almost hooked up with one of my friend's sisters back when I was like 12 years old or something. But besides that, I haven't had a friend hook me up with one. I haven't had too many friends with sisters, actually, though. That's probably the problem. Or the sisters were too young, another problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably the other issue.
Yeah, but then you guys give me shit when I say, hey, I got to go do a chore or go do something. I'll tell you what, man, there's not a single, even that you can be with the greatest woman on the planet, but you're going to have to wash some dishes, mow some lawns, do some stuff. If you think you're going to get away just fucking sitting on the couch, drinking beer, fucking around, you got another thing coming, man. You're going to get fucking smacked. Fucking head.
Yeah, unless she drinks beer with you.
She does, but even then, dude, women are just more responsible, man. They just clean up better.
Yeah. That's true.
You know, they don't. I'll leave dishes around. She's like, "Why are you leaving dishes? It's getting crusty." Then it's going to be you're going to have to work 3 times as hard to get this grime off. Just do it when you just clean the dishes as you make them. But I'm like, but when I'm making food, I'm usually like, I had a couple drinks. I'm kind of tired from work. I don't want to wash the dishes, you know. And she's like, if you would have done it then, it would have saved you 3 times the work.
That's true. I do it sometimes, like when I'm here by myself and I'm cooking. I don't cook too often. My maid does, but but like when I go away or something, I cook for myself, and I actually do the dishes right there. Like if I use, this pan to fry something up, now I'm going to add it to this pan where I got something else cooking. I'll
clean that,
wash that pan while that's cooking. You know,
that's the life hack way to do it, especially if you have a vested interest. I do a lot of house sitting and pet sitting and stuff. And when I do that, you clean up as you go because you don't want to. Yeah.
I need a girl like yours where she goes away occasionally so I can have fun times like you're having right now.
Yeah. I got some bachelor time. Yeah. Thanks for remembering that. Yeah, like and of course I just today I just made a bunch of cheese sticks. I should have like cooked up a steak or done something, but I was
Yeah.
like,
Well, you thought you were going out. You're going to get those burritos that you're talking about.
yeah, and I thought I was gonna get a little more protein, so I thought I was trying to make some cheese sticks as like a snack. But then I bought a big box at Walmart. They had a small box for $4, but then they had a huge box, like a gigantic box, like for the rollback price of like $6. So I'm like, why not, for $2 extra, get the, and I'll be honest with you, there's no nutrition. Like lately I've been trying to eat healthy stuff, dude. In cheese sticks, dude, there's no nutrition, especially the like pre-made ones. They're battered. They're already beer battered. You just put them in the oven and they crisp up, and then I already had some marinara dip at home, so I was like, and some basil. So I made some basil dip and marinara, and you just dunk those motherfuckers.
Hey, I'm out of a beer, so I'd have to run downstairs to get one. Did you want to start a new video up or soon, or you want to just keep
Yeah,
going?
we should do drinking and thinking. This was like a preface for that. Let's do a drinking. Yeah. Let's start brand new. I have some ideas.
All right, there you go.
We'll do improv. Don't even put it in the name. Just say improv, drinking and thinking.
Improv, drinking and thinking, improv style.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, we're gonna do that. I got some ideas. It's gonna be like the whose line is it anyway? We're just gonna go with it.
All right. Well, if nobody's watching, but if you are and it's not showing somehow,
yeah,
join us here in about 3 minutes. Drinking and thinking continues.
Drinking and thinking continues. All right, bro.
All right. See you in a second.
See you in a second.